What is your name?
My name is Jason Santillana.
Jason, tell me about yourself.
Sure, I'm from Corpus Christi, Texas, originally, born and raised. I work in the United States Army.
How was your life regarding faith and religion in general?
I would like to say I was probably a Christian for most of my life. So growing up in South Texas especially, it's about 70% Hispanic, Mexican mostly, and they're all Christians. You know, I would go over to my grandmother's house sometimes, and she would read the Bible to me, and we would talk about it all the time. And I always asked how, like, you know, regular people, right, everyday people, you see them all the time walking down the street and everything. How could a person be like God and like not God at the same time? Like, I just didn't understand that. It would kind of just be like, oh, well, mijo, you know, you have to have like some kind of faith or something.
How was your life in general before Islam?
So I joined the military when I was 17 years old through a program that we have. I started looking into religion when I was about 18 years old. You know, a lot of it was because I felt lost. I didn't really feel like I had a purpose. I felt like I was just here kind of thing, just living, feeling a little, you know, just hopeless, I guess. You know, you could only take so much of that as a person, and then you start looking into like how I can fix this problem and what the deeper meaning of what I'm feeling is, right? You know, I wanted to find, you know, God. I wanted to find my religion. I wanted to find something that I could actually hold on to and believe in and really put my faith into. So I went looking for the answers.
What would be your first encounter with Islam?
You know, honestly, it was probably like Mufti Menk or Zakir Naik or something like that I saw, yeah. And how they were able to answer all of the questions that, you know, I've always, you know, pondered, you know, throughout my entire life with all of the struggles and all of the things that I went through. You know, how, you know, Christianity, it's really about like, hey, like Jesus Christ was the Son of God and he is God in human flesh kind of thing. I never really understood that, and I couldn't see how a human being could actually be, you know, God kind of thing. So I think getting clarity from the Islamic perspective of that question really helped me understand and pushed me to dive deeper into this religion. You know, one of the funny things that I always say is like I stopped eating pork like, you know, 2.5 years ago. You know, that's something that people always think about whenever they hear about Muslims and things like that. I stopped drinking alcohol, you know, smoking and stuff like that. All of these little things that, you know, I was reading about, and the answers that I was getting from Islam specifically made sense to me and were my reasons for quitting.
So now you've researched, did you meet any Muslims? Did you speak to any Muslims?
And I'm from Texas, you know, huge Christian state kind of thing. Not really any diversity there. I've never even met a Muslim person, honestly, until I came out in Kuwait. In that time, I've been all over the Middle East, Iraq, Syria, Saudi Arabia, Jordan, Egypt, all of these places. In all my like travels in the Middle East and in Kuwait and things like that, you know, seeing the people, seeing how they live, their society, how they believe, how devout they are as a group of people. I think all of that cemented, you know, my beliefs and how, like, you know, this is something that I could put myself into, and how I could continue to want to learn and like prosper, and how accepting and how kind the people were, and how kind everybody like in the Muslim community is. You know, all of my experiences so far have been very, very like positive. I don't think I've had anything, you know, bad to say or anything at all. You know, they're so involved in their religion, and they're so ready to talk about it and help you through your journey, because they do understand how hard it is and how intimidating it can be, especially from people from America that grew up in societies of just these Christian homes, or these, you know, majority, you know, different religious places, right? And you know, that was very, very helpful for me, and it helped me make a decision on what I wanted to do, you know.
Do you feel you had any setbacks?
You know, some of the things that I was telling myself to try to, you know, that made me prolong the reversion was, you know, like, oh, well, you can't even read, you know, the Quran, you can't understand what it's saying, you know, you don't know how to pray, you don't know, you know, any of this stuff, and, you know, you need to learn it first before you do anything. You need to continue to learn before you do anything. But in my mind, like I said, I was on like a cliff, right? And, you know, you want to jump because you know what you believe is down there, but you're not too sure because, you know, you hear those whispers in the back, like, oh, don't do it. And if you have this feeling, it's a call I believe from Allah. You know, I think that, you know, He's trying to guide you somewhere to this religion if you're not in it already. And the best thing for you to do is to dive right in, is to jump and understand that feeling is real, and what you have inside of you is not by mistake. And you will continue to learn every single day, just like I have, and millions of Muslims around the world have. You know, and it's an everyday journey. It's not something that, you know, you're gonna say the Shahada and you know everything, but that's everybody, right? No matter if you're a revert or if you were born Muslim, everybody has to find Islam at one point in their life. You know, at a certain point, you kind of just have to take the jump, right? And that's what happened. I think I was ready to take the jump, or maybe I don't know if I was exactly ready because I had those thoughts in my head, but, you know, I put those aside and I still went with it.
What was the tipping point in your life which led you to your Shahada?
I had a vacation. I was going to Egypt, and really, really nice family. They actually accepted me into their home. The father was willing enough to let me into their home and, you know, understand more of the culture and the religion, because he knew that I had questions and I was still trying to find my way. And he taught me everything that, you know, that I wanted to hear, or just that I wanted to know. He was a great person, you know, and it was right before iftar, right before we broke fast. And, you know, me and him had a one-on-one conversation. I mean, some of the things that we were kind of talking about is like, you know, the best time to revert was yesterday, but, you know, the second best time is now, because now you still have life, and now you're still well, and you still have your health and everything. You're still able to make these decisions. And, you know, you don't know how long you have this, and you don't know, you know, if this is the decision to save your life. So why would you put that off? And everything just kind of clicked, right? And the world went silent, and I was like, you know what?
Yeah, well, that's beautiful.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's beautiful. And then you prayed. You must have took your Shahada, and then it was time for the sunset.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so I was able to pray with them for the first time. He taught me how to do wudu, you know, that day and things like that. And you know, we went through the whole thing, and, you know, that entire night, you know, for the next couple hours until I left, he was just teaching me, you know, everything that I needed to know, and just things like that.
How was your first Ramadan? Was it nice?
It was hard. No, actually it was very easy for me. Absolutely, it was easier than I thought it was gonna be. Everything went really smoothly. You know, I didn't break my fast or anything like that, unless so it was good. It was good. So yeah, I had a great first Ramadan. I think I learned a lot in that time, and I used that time exactly how it's meant to be used.
Now you've taken your Shahada,
right?
Did you tell your family and friends immediately?
Yeah, so my immediate reaction that night was I called my parents, and they're still living in the US, right? So it was like 3 a.m. You know, I called them, and you know, I told them everything and stuff like that, and they were extremely accepting, and they were very, very happy for me. They were glad that I found something that, you know, gave me this feeling again, that or not again, but that I've been searching for.
Would you say you've seen your life change drastically?
There's total structure in my life now, 100%. I feel more at ease with everything that I do because I know that, the person, the creator that I'm doing this for is like behind me, right? And is helping me with everything and is making everything easier for me and is guiding me. So, it's been amazing. Like I can't sometimes explain the feelings that I feel.
Have you got any sort of goals and?
Absolutely. I would like to, do my Umrah and my Hajj as soon as I possibly could. I think that would probably be the next thing. And just, again, learning as much as I can with the Quran and learning from all the hadiths and everything like that. That's probably the next steps for me in terms of like my Islamic journey.
If you need any help, let me know. Inshallah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I would love to help, man.
And that's been the response from everybody that I've talked to, and it's beautiful. I love that.
That if you could go back and tell yourself something, and you could just talk to yourself, say, listen, do this, what would you say?
I would say like a universal thing that maybe everybody feels is that, Allah is going to guide us and Allah is going to bring us to the path of Islam, if you're a revert or if you've lost that path, right? And I feel like you shouldn't suppress those feelings, and you shouldn't, shy away from what you're feeling or what you're like what your mind is telling you to do, because it's really not you. It's Allah guiding you, and take the jump, as soon as you feel it, as soon as you can, as soon as, you're ready for it, do it. Because again, like that, my second Egyptian family that I have said, like, the best time was yesterday, but the second best time is now. So if you're having those feelings and you're having those doubts, continue to keep on researching and continue to keep on learning and take the jump as soon as you can. Because you never know, this could save your life.